get kicked in the fucking face.
In the next bubble screen over here, let's throw curls.
What are the whys?
The Tape Never Lies Network, home of the greatest Chicago Bears fans on earth.
The following show is for mature audiences only.
The Tape Never Lies Network.
The Tape Never Lies.
Tape never lies.
Starts now.
32 is the identity.
We were kind of stuck in neutral, and I thought it was a good idea to hand the play calling over to Bill Lazor.
Loses the football, strip sack, and a take.
Bears our life. Bears our life. We go online right after Bears games with your boys draft talking the smartest man alive. Bears our life. Bears our life. We go on live right after Bears games with your boys draft talking the smartest man alive. Ran up with the true analysis you expect. Raw passion for the show. Bear fans get nothing locked in with real emotion and passion for every play. Coach Phil gonna bring that range, but in with facts my shame. Post game show like nothing else you're gonna hear. Some can try to copy, but a bucket's not sincere. Delivering the truth on what just happened, to be clear. That's why we're on TV, so you can see it, not just hear. Hey, yo, with Draft Dr. Phil, you know it's always hit sticks. Splitting double T's like 96 Hakeem hits. You can tell the shit matters. A bit love can be felt. Critical of Nagy cause the talent he's been dealt. As our life keeps growing, Shane's all knowing. Delivering the truth on how the QB's throwing. Dimes on time, just lacking fundamental. Whatever the case, we get hot like Cecil. Fiery discussion about what happened in the game. This ain't your daddy's postgame, don't expect the fucking flame. Not for the average fan, a loss they can't survive.
But don't you worry.
Bears Hour Live.
Bears our life. Bears our life. We go on live right there again.
I don't think we're that much.
The myth, the red legend, Dr. Phil Otoshun.
Because teams realize, hey, we gotta stop Matt.
When you put that much into it, you don't let that. And the guy next to you says, "You son of a bitch, you better block." That's what happens. That's when you have a real quick team.
And let's get it on.
This is Bears Hour Live.
That's right. This is Bears Hour Live. Week 7. Bears head south. Literally get fucking embarrassed down in Tampa. 38-3. It could have been a lot worse than that. I think Bears fans all know where this is headed, where this should be headed. A statement was made today to me on the field by the players, by everybody involved. There's no growth. There's no progress. And the longer this goes on, you're going to get the most important player on your team killed flat out. But enough of that. Everybody's here. We got our guy all lathered up, I think, here in the background to kick off this rant. This has the potential to be the rant of all rants, I think. So let's get that going. It's time for a little DDP therapy session. And I think you might hear Matt Nagy's name come up once or twice. I'm just guessing.
Yeah. Let me say this. I keep repeating myself over and over, Shane, and it's like a broken record. But, you know, football is about pride and about understanding your personnel as well as your identity. If you can't find your identity in year 4, then you're not a fucking head football coach. If you're not ready for the big moments, if rivalry games escape you, if the development of a quarterback escapes you, if a 21-0 deficit forces you to decide to kick a field goal, then guess what? You're a fucking pussy. If you go out onto this football field and decide we're going to just allow Latavius Simmons and run 5 receivers out, then you belong coaching in high school beyond. JV, arena football leagues wouldn't hire you. You are an embarrassment, a travesty, a showcase of insubordination, of the recognition of where this charter franchise began. in the trenches. You got a center that looks like a fat doughboy. You got people out there looking for somebody else to make a football play, and it's all a reflection of the fucking head coach. I can hire a staff tomorrow. I said this on Wednesday. I said it on Thursday at my father's book signing. I can fucking hire a staff that will come out there with a better game plan, better understanding of a personnel, hold people accountable than what we see every fucking Sunday. And the likes of these blog boys that sit there with their fucking computers and their diplomas from little tech schools defending this clown. He's never been a head coach. Never as a JV head coach. Never as a freshman football head coach. He wasn't a Pop Warner head coach. And it shows. This is the Old Boys Network hiring Andy Reid's shoe salesman friend to handle this. This belongs to Pace. This belongs to George McCaskey. It belongs to the fucking Millhouse boy, Ted Phillips. I don't care how much spit I'm going to spit on my screen tonight. This is an embarrassment. This is the charter franchise. I don't even wear Chicago Bears gear tonight. It's a travesty. I'm embarrassed to drive into Hartford, Connecticut tomorrow and see people at Dunkin' Donuts going like this. Oh my God, Justin Fields sucks. Oh my God, they made him up. No, they have the wrong fucking guy. The wrong guy. Coaching is the number one thing. Every other network, anybody that stood ground, you want to know how to fix it? I've been telling you for fucking 4 years. He's a shoe salesman. He just calls plays. There was no plan. There's no fucking understanding of where Tampa's weak. Where are we going to get the matchups? We got Demir Bird in the fucking red zone. The red zone. You have Jasper Horsted, who's the comfort blanket for Justin Fields. Guess what? He comes in on third down. Let's throw it up to him. This is a franchise that worried about the 21-0. Let's kick a field goal. You have no balls. I'm not here to raise your kids. I'm not here to do anything but tell you the truth. You want a fucking bouquet of roses when you beat the Vegas Raiders. You fucking trolls want miracles and bouquet. Well, where's the positives? Because we know this is the litmus test. Last week was the litmus test. And you can't ever get the thing that he was hired to do out of this guy. You can't get it. Offense. You can't get it. He's got all the excuses. Trubisky was the excuse. Foles was the excuse. Hoyer was the excuse. Jordan Howard's an excuse. Every fucking excuse in the world. Ryan and Matt are men of great character. Great leaders. Leaders of men, just like Ted. This is what they sold you. This shit should have happened right after last season, backing into the playoffs at 8-8. 8-8 ain't a winning fucking season, you fucking blog boy fucks. That's not a win. Don't give me how many times he's been to the playoffs. Tell me how many times he's won. Tell me how many times his coaching won. It was Vic Fangio, Khalil Mack, Akeem Hicks, Kyle Fuller. Those are the fucking wins. Not Mr. Nagy. Mr. Nagy is a detriment. He is the one that is making fans go, Justin Fields sucks. That's how you ruin people. If he's not fired tonight, do not go to the game. I can't even look at my son and bring up, yeah, I want him to experience a Bears game. With this fucking staff, with this fucking, I don't even know what this is. It's a clown show. It is the most embarrassing thing of football I've ever witnessed. It's beyond Tressman. It's way beyond Tressman. Because with Mark, it was only year 3. This is year 4. That's your game plan. Latavius fucking Simmons, my boy Barlissimo had the fucking plan. Everybody should know the plan. Alex Bars should be out at right tackle today. Alex Bars. Sam Mustipher, they can't even figure it out. He sucks! I'm sorry, Sam. You might be the greatest human being. You might save fucking lives around the world, but you can't fucking play center for the Bears. Dieter Eisland sitting over there like a filthy fucking animal ready to bite someone's fucking kneecaps off. He'll end up going to Detroit, becoming a Pro Bowler, and you're fucking sitting here picking your nose, watching a guy getting blown into the backfield. Blown into the back. Bad snap. Getting your quarterback killed. And then it gets worse, Shane. It gets worse because the defense is walking around. It's a domino effect. It's a loser's sauce. It embodies, it fucking digests a whole team because you, Matt Nagy, are the biggest issue. You're the biggest issue. And you drag everybody down because your inability to plan, your inability to recognize that running the ball and being successful, no matter what formation, is the most important thing. I wanted him gone when he told me I didn't come here to run the I. And you have people still defending this guy with no football acumen in places of importance or on Twitter? Twitter? You fucking kidding me? Twitter? You want to rant? You want passion? I want answers. I want a fucking ownership that holds people accountable. I want Ryan Pace. What did he say today? We were close against Green Bay. Today you're going to see it. What did you see, Ryan? I know you're watching. What did you see? What I saw is a travesty. What I saw is my dad putting his hand in his hand in his head. What I saw is the bus driver who works his ass off. The truck driver driving from Connecticut to Maryland every fucking day. Oh my God, this is my Bears. I see every person that works their ass off to go watch this team, support this team. Know that Matt Nagy is the problem except you selling this political propaganda bullshit where it doesn't belong. Save that for the fucking politicians. Put football first. Put football first. Put football first. Get the players out there that are going to help you win, that care. I bet you we can get a poll in the chat right now. Say, who cared today? This is when you find out character. When you're at your lowest. Who cared? Wasn't Eddie. Wasn't Allen Robinson. Guess what those two identify with? They get paid. They get paid. You got a problem here. You can fine a fucking kid for being 2 minutes late, but you can't put anybody on the bench. You can't come up with a game plan. You see, my game plan would have known Shaq Barrett and this dude, Pierre Paul, are almost like Cleveland. They got that fucking edge. And then you add a fucking dominant defensive tackle that will take Sam Mustipher like a fucking marshmallow and throw him in the fucking fire. And then you got s'mores. That's all. They're going to fucking just destroy you. So what do? You get in two tight ends and you protect those edges. You protect that young quarterback and you run the motherfucking ball and you run it again until they say, we got to stop this motherfucking run. And then you hit them over the top. You don't go fucking empty sets, running 5 receivers out, getting your quarterback killed, breaking his confidence. That's the Matt Nagy I know. And that's the Matt Nagy I saw and continue to see, because a zebra doesn't change his stripes. A zebra does not change his stripes. A fraud is a fraud is a fraud. Notice all the threes tonight. I've repeated it all in threes. Because in threes, Matt Nagy's the disease. And something's got to be done. And Shane, that is my rant. Jesus. can't hear you, bro. I don't know why he's on mute. Gotta unmute, Jane.
Yeah. What do I think the team's going to be?
Got to concentrate on this too, because this is a little bit. This isn't
not letting it
live,
phase you.
and he says some
pretty
pretty.
that mindset where nothing can break you. Bend but don't break. So I think that mindset.
When he starts talking about the first interception, concentrate on that.
All right.
I don't know why it froze.
Everybody better be hashtagging just like Gareth. We need all of you guys. All of you. Fire Nagy. Preach it. Don't fucking buy a ticket. I care. Anybody questioning the integrity of Shane and me, my father, or anybody, Berlissimo, Card, anybody on this network, go watch another network. Please go watch the presser there. Go be, because there is nothing but passion. I'm embarrassed. It is a sad state to watch this franchise. And let me tell you something right now. There is enough talent on this football team to not only beat Tampa, beat the Green Bay Packers, and beat teams. You have somebody that just, you know what? It's that father that has this giant fucking gift for their kid that's awesome, right? And it's got thousands of pieces. And they fucking just throw the fucking directions out and say, I'm going to figure it out on my own. That's Greg Braggs, right? Just, I'll figure it out. And it never gets fixed. It never will work, and you'll never figure it out. And that's the problem here. That is the fucking problem here. The wrong guy is leading the ship. It's like God giving somebody else but Noah the fucking ark. You can't. You got to go with the guy that's going to, who is going to do the right thing for the Chicago Bears. This guy's on the sideline settling for field goals, Shane. That's where this whole story starts. It's 21-0. 21-0. And you're settling for a goddamn field goal? I looked at Claudio. I'm like, you're 100. Claudio's like, he's got to go for it, right?
I know the feed of Justin Fields froze, Phil, but this is on the first interception, on the first pick, Justin Fields quick snapped the ball because they told him in his headset the Bucs had 12 players on the field. He thought it was a free play. That's the second week in a row that's happened.
We'll have to look at the tape, Berlissimo, if you're out there.
That's the thing, Phil. And like I said, I don't want to take this in a different direction because the main culprit is the coaching staff. But at the same time, there's players like Cole Kmet, like Darnell Mooney, like Justin Fields. They have to. When you have the ability to make a play, you have to catch the ball. You have to make the easy pass. And it's just, I mean, at some point we have to start holding a lot of these players accountable too. I know they're in a bad situation because of this bullshit culture. But I mean, come on. Darnell Mooney, what are you doing? What are you doing out there? Allen Robinson continues, I mean, just
jogging.
You can see it, and then I know people don't want to hear about body language and stuff like that, but I mean there was plays out there that Justin Fields needs to be better. And I mean we're gonna go through these peaks and valleys with a rookie quarterback, but it's not just the coaching staff 24/7 365. They're the main culprit, and I'm not trying to say anything different, but when you have a chance out there to make a fucking play to help your quarterback, you have to do it. And the Bears continue to not do it.
There's fundamental issues of guys blocking the wrong people. There's what you said, drops. There's unfocused behaviors. There's bad snaps. There's people punching others in the face, getting thrown out. This is a culture that it's happy time for the media. They really love him in there. No shit. How many times do I have to say this? Nobody loves Saban at Alabama. They love him afterwards. And they might love him at the end of the season, but they don't love him on game day. They don't love him at all during the week when he's ripping that ass. But at the end of the day, this is a tough love game. Don't give me the shit that this team loves Matt Nagy. They love the fucking culture of mediocrity, the culture of an offense never ranked better than 26th. And yes, I agree with you. Justin Fields has to play. But here is the chicken or the egg. Here it is. Is Justin being hurt by Coach Nagy? I say yes. I say yes.
I agree.
He's the guy, and I get it. It's like everything. It's like a dam with a crack in it. Someone's got to fix it. Everyone's looking around.
I think he's taking bullets from the head coach. I think he's taking bullets from his own players, and I think that there's a lot of self-inflicted gun wounds. And this is the problem with. Don't ever forget that fan is short for fanatic. We all know that story, and that everybody wants it to be one problem and one problem only. That we got it. If we get rid of Mitch, everything's going to change. If we get rid of Ryan Pace, everything's going to change. If we get rid of Matt Nagy, everything's going to change. Get Allen Robinson out of here. Let's go get some speed at wide receiver. Everything's going to change. No, it's cyclical. It's the same fucking issues over and over and over again. And yes, it starts with the head coach. It starts with the front office. It starts with the president of the Bears. It starts with ownership. I get all that. But this isn't just a singular issue. It starts at the top, and everybody has the smelly shit on their shoe all the way down through.
I push back with you. I get it, but game day planning, the talent that you have is there. Ted Phillips can't do anything.
They are there, Phil, but Darnell Mooney's talented, and he's dropping a fucking football. I'm just saying. Cole Kmet has talent, and he's dropping a football. They're not running the right routes.
That's on the coach.
It really is, but it's also at what point does Darnell Mooney have to catch the fucking ball?
Every guys, time. Can you hear me? Can I interject?
Yes, Coach.
Jeez, I've been trying to get something in. Listen, before you start blaming the players, don't blame the players. Every one of them, don't blame them. Because these guys are playing, they're listening to you guys. And they're listening to all the fans. Right now, they don't want to play for this guy. And they're making a business decision by not getting hurt. I'm going to tell you right now, they have quit. There's no doubt in my mind. They don't want to play for this guy.
Just
you got to keep it up.
You keep breaking up when you lean forward. So sit there, say it again, because I think it's important.
I think these guys, the guys are making a business decision. So if they get hurt a little bit, they're getting off the field. And most of the guys don't want to play for this man. They can't want to play for him. What do you think? They're stupid? We're here together. Go ahead, you're going to put him on?
He's coming on. I agree with you, Dad. You saying the players quit on this guy.
Yeah, but they're making a business decision. They don't want to get hurt. This is their life. This is their livelihood.
I agree with you again.
No, it's not frustrating. Here's what happens is as these young quarterbacks go through this development, there's situations like this that can happen. And, we have techniques within our system to be able to try to take advantage. And when that happens, if they do have 12 guys on and you catch them, obviously it's a free play. And if they don't, and you hear that, that's where there's.
This is what you said, Shane.
Understand that and learn from that, and that's our job to make sure that we're teaching that the right way, and that he's understanding that, and not just him, but everybody. So
make sure we're doing it the right way in year 4.
Justin's as hard on himself as anybody. So he wears his emotions on his sleeve, and he wants to be great, and that's what we love about him. But
I don't think Justin
there was
Fields
a lot of ways that we can help him out, and
I feel like it was frustrated.
It's important with a young rookie quarterback. It's great to get off to a fast start and get some confidence and momentum going.
My God.
And we didn't do that.
I don't know why I do it to myself.
I don't care who you are when you get behind like that against Tom Brady and that offense and that defense when they can pin their ears back. That's not easy. That's not easy.
This guy is the worst head coach I've ever seen.
Without a doubt.
Right.
He hasn't a plan.
Well,
he's using
for him to.
He's using the young QB as an excuse.
First of all, the first half for us as an offense, we know we wanted a lot more. So every rep and every play we can get, we want. And again, I think the message for us
every rep,
too,
every play we
coming
want.
out
Shane.
that second half was
Go ahead,
to
Dad.
show,
Just say
like,
it.
hey,
Say
man,
it.
this is about some pride too.
The,
when you're down that much.
The Kansas City Chiefs got beat
this
37-3. That's where he comes
that's
from.
where
And
our
that guy's a
defense got those
two-maker.
two stops there
He
at the end
calls
where they could
plays.
easily just fold it up shop and just say, go ahead
And
and
he
score,
couldn't
and they
make an
did it
adjustment.
twice.
That's
For
what's
our
going on
offense,
with the Kansas
same
City
thing.
Chiefs.
Like, let's go ahead and
what's
finish
going
this
on
thing
with
and try to
Nagy.
get some points.
Remember what Sim said.
And so
he's a
that's
shoemaker.
Where, we're able to really evaluate that and see it, and it's something that it didn't even cross my mind.
If you want to listen to this jokester in
No.
full, go over to the Bears side and listen to him. But you're gonna hear us comment here.
No, it's there's a lot of different things that go into it. And
this
it's
guy's
all-encompassing.
showcase,
Just
even
like
with
we
his
do well
visor.
and you score a lot of points and you get a lot of yards.
You've never
as
scored a
one
lot
person,
of points.
You've
never scored a
when we
lot
go
of
back
points.
And watch the tape.
The
we're able to
last time
really
you scored a lot of
detail,
points was
Mark, to
Tampa
be
in
able to see, okay,
2018.
what happened here?
Let's
Did
keep
someone
it
get beat
100
one-on-one?
again.
Was
This
it
is
poor
a
play
guy
call? And then
that
from the quarterback
throws
perspective,
football
what kind of
terms out
decision-making
there.
was it? And so you balance
Like
that,
a fucking
and you see
shoe
really where
salesman
they're all
would.
at. And
I've dealt and argued
when
with
you go
guys
through
like
what
this
we're going through
before.
right now with
Yeah, you
trying
know,
to get through
reps
and
and
have your
twins
identity,
and trips and
what you wanna
bunches,
build off of that.
and what you got to
And
do
also,
is attack the scene. You
going
got to
into
do
it, what
this.
you're facing with
Anybody
your
could do
opponent,
that
who's
shit.
different every week.
You don't have a
You got to
plan.
be able to adapt.
You've got
And we
nowhere
just
to
got
hang
so
your
behind
hat.
early that
You're
it
asking the
forced us
whys.
somewhat into one-dimensional.
You one-dimensional? No, it didn't force you into one-dimensional.
There was
you
a
kicked
few,
the
but
fucking
again,
field goal
that's,
21-0. You made it
that's not the only
one-dimensional.
thing, but I think it's that
You're
was
a guy
part of
that
it
did.
at times,
You're
but
the
That's
bozo.
not to blame. That's just to say, hey,
You're
that's
the
a part
bozo.
of what happened. And
Let's kick a field goal so that ugly zero doesn't go up there.
They were out
That's
there
the wrong
battling,
kind of
and it
attitude.
wasn't easy for them,
I don't
but they
want
were
that as
battling,
my head
and they were
coach.
sticking together. And
He
so
didn't
we
want
gotta try
that
to get
zero.
fixed.
He didn't want to compete and say 21-7 at the half.
Yeah.
Why did you kick the fucking field goal before the half?
Without a doubt.
How about
I
that?
agree.
Ask him that.
It was a tough one. And
how come your team plays with no pride? Ask him that.
And you're facing
you're going to hear him say,
"I know those guys on the road and a great quarterback.
They're fired up. They give all their. No, they don't.
You got to be
close to
them. They're perfect. You
they don't
really
want to get hurt.
To be able to
playing for you
in a lot of phases. The one thing you
That's
can't
not
do
somebody
is
who fucking
you can't give a
cares
short
about this
field to a
game.
great quarterback like
They
that.
know they're not going to make the playoffs.
But you
How are you
also
going to make the
can't
playoffs?
lose
But
that drastically to
it's
turn
human
around,
nature.
So,
You don't believe in this guy.
That's a part of it. And like you said, yeah, I mean, in the time that I've been here, that's definitely a tough one. But we, in the locker room, the guys are in there, and we talked about pride, and we talked about them being.
You don't talk about pride. You have
battle there at the end, and this isn't.
You're still asking the whys.
Let's make this count as
maybe
one
Armstrong can figure out the whys for you. Maybe she can help you out. Fucking whys.
Mm-hmm.
Start fucking sending a message, McCaskies, that your money isn't as important as the team.
That our coaches and
how about send that fucking message tonight?
We know.
Fire this guy.
You're not scoring like
get
we're not,
rid of the bullshit
running from that. We
and the
missed
messages. You have
that
Deion Miller on here. I've never heard a coach
all of
ever
us included.
say
So it's trust me.
What are the whys?
Whereas we want to be able to get this thing going as best as we can to be complementary to the defense and special teams, and we didn't do that today. So when you don't do that, you lose, and when you don't score enough points,
I don't ever know where I'm going with a fucking rant.
Like
I just
said,
rant.
We got to make sure that we understand what happened. And then fix it. And we got to reset.
Marshmallow in the fire. It's s'mores. Get rid of this clown. I've never been so agitated by somebody in my life.
I couldn't hear your the second.
No one could hear.
Elijah, but what was the second part?
Yeah. Why?
This morning it was when we found out about Elijah. And then, when we got into that, I think you could see in the game what happened, and we just felt like it was at a point where being able to put Alex in there was what was best for us.
I want to tell you something, Coach. You brought Alex Bars in as your second or third tight end. The fact that you skipped over the fact that he's playing reps to bring in some practice squad guy is a showcase of your stupidity as a personnel
those guys
guy.
know that we can't do
Fuck
that.
out of here. Dieter Island's much better than Mustafa.
Like last year,
it's sad that we have to pray for injury.
That was out
you got to
there
pray
today,
for an injury to help out.
You know, it was loud and clear of that.
Sheree even knows. Sheree knows.
Our guys understand. They know that every action.
Nobody knows.
And
not in
what
that
we need
building.
To do is continue to keep emphasizing it like we are, and then the guys got to follow up by not falling into that trap.
Fire this guy. Just fire Matt Nagy and set the precedence that a new era is coming.
We've done a pretty good job with our
this
play
is
action.
getting old.
Play the game that got us with the free safety blitz there on the edge, so that hurt.
How bad do you feel for Justin Fields?
Just trying to probably more.
I feel very bad for him.
Sure
I'll just let you know
our protections into the.
Even though he's got to play better, and I agree with Shane.
Sure, progression-wise,
I just feel like you're putting him in a fucking position of impossibility.
Sure his eyes go to where
this ain't fucking James Bond here. This ain't a Bond movie where he's getting out of all these guys.
You know something?
We're trying to make him comfortable and feel good.
They had a blitz on.
What we do schematically.
You know, and he didn't know enough to make that call to block left or get his back on that side, pick up that guy.
There's going to be times. I think everybody in here,
that's something you talk to that guy.
Goes through this year right here. There's going to be some
got to be taught before the season even started.
But like we talked
and
about,
that's what bothers me the most.
These are moments here.
He is a handicap.
It's all about how you handle it.
Up there, I'm telling you.
When you use them.
I'm just looking at New England today.
Play in general, or
I couldn't believe he was playing like that. He was playing like a guy that's played 5 years.
Justin has proven to us over the last.
And if he was with New England, he'd be playing
something that he can learn from.
Exactly.
And that's
if Justin Fields is in New England, he's playing great because he's coached. He's prepared. He understands. Right here, he's getting told by Shane telling you.
When you go through times like this that are difficult as a rookie.
There's 12 men. Snap the ball.
Can handle it.
Oh my God.
I don't know. I don't know.
Matt, why'd you kick the field goal, man? That's the most important comment and answer. Why would you kick the field goal?
We're going to look. That's something that we're going to look into to see.
Why is the center out there getting destroyed and struggling?
We can do.
Each week we see it on the tape
that we've had a few
that you're watching
that have come up. So what we need to do is make sure that we're doing everything we can to be smart, to continue to follow what we follow and what we've been doing, and listen to what everybody tells us to do, meaning the league.
Yeah, that's what it is.
No. Sometimes he's in a bad spot. Yeah. No,
This guy.
I'm not concerned with his ball security. It can get tight quarters back there. Coach Flip was always talking to him about 2 hands on the ball and making sure he has that going on. There was a for us losing the way we did, for us to be able to take away some good moments that came from this and learning for Justin was there was just a simple play that means nothing to anybody, but he rolled out in the red zone. And I know, like hell, he wanted to throw the ball into the end zone and try.
We need you to start holding people accountable.
And he threw.
I want to hear him say, "Darnell Mooney's drop, unacceptable
for him.
Cole Kmet's drop, unacceptable."
Third down, and he didn't force the ball like many rookies do and many quarterbacks do. They try to throw across their body, and so there was some of those.
Still in the field. That means there's no accountability.
Pull those, and
when
then
you drop the ball, you sit on the bench.
And it's our job as teachers is to make him learn from that, make our offense learn.
No accountability.
2 more questions, guys. Our coach, scared.
Probably the biggest thing was trying to get a fast start and try to go down there and score like we've done before, and not do anything but that. And I think. You've seen some of that this year. Sometimes it's worked. Sometimes
imagine
you hate to go
any fucking coach worth their grain of salt.
That's what happened, and we
isn't defending this. He's doing everything in this presser to say the why. Like this is what we were trying.
You're
to do.
right, Dan. At the same point in time, I will say the last couple of days with our team, we've become really close.
I'm so glad. Did you go out and have a team gathering too?
The last 24,
fuck out of here. Oh my God.
I just trust and believe
we
in them.
went out into the woods and we fucking climbed trees together.
We're 3-4 right now.
And we balanced on a line.
We can't have this affect us and make it be a 2 or 3 or 4.
Fuck out of here.
Feel like that much of a loss. We lost.
This is what your leadership is.
Our guys have rebounded before in the past.
We feel real close, Shane.
Our discussion in there after the game and where we're at right now as fighters and people and teammates.
You ain't a fighter.
It's not fun. This is not
You're
fun.
a hider.
At the same point in time, we
you
all
hide
go through
behind
some
your
adversity
play sheet.
to be able to get us.
You hide
where we
behind
want to
the
go
truth.
in the end. And so that's why
you
I
are
feel
never, ever gonna win. You're
All right,
a
Head
loser.
Coach Nagy talking
Just like
to
all
you
of this
in
is.
Tampa. I'm going to ask.
Fuck out of here. Oh my God.
God.
I've never in my life have witnessed that last statement puts the cherry on top. This is the corporate run Bears.
Did you ever piss your wife off really bad and then just go up to her and say, "Babe, I thought we became closer the last couple of weeks." Did that ever work? No, it doesn't fucking work, bro. Everybody knows it's bullshit. So does your wife.
He just said, "I believe we got closer this week."
Yeah.
Like, oh my God. This is the lowest of the low. This is the low. This is fucking Vanderbilt in the SEC. This is the lowest you can possibly go. It's UConn.
Yeah, that's
UConn.
The best analogy.
You're fucking UConn of football in the NFL. You got frauds up there trying to sell real people like Olin Kreutz, all this network, Eric Crane, every guest we've had on, all of them calling out the BS, except the organization. Now, let me say this. If Matt Nagy was a real man, a real head coach, like some of these soft boys wanted to say, he would have came out here and did what Mike Ditka would have done, because there is no coincidence that the McCaskies haven't hired a bullish coach like the guy across there. They didn't hire him. They hired Trestman. Remember, they had Bruce Arians. Bruce Arians thought he had this job. They hired Mark Trestman because you know what? We can control Mark. We can control Coach Fox. I know he's wily, but we're going to give him a chance here because they don't want him in Denver. And he'll help clean up this culture that Trestman ruined. Our first fucking pussy head coach. Now we got another pussy head coach who's never been a head coach. And he can't go out there and say, this shit is unacceptable. This shit is on me. This shit ain't going to be happening no more. Don't you? That's what Mike Tomlin does. Because he understands it all goes through you. Just like you said, when you won, everything goes through me. Remember how quickly all these fucking trolls forget? All the blog boy. Everything goes for me through Detroit, right? Everything. The McCaskies can't handle Phil Etoshin. The McCaskies can't handle Shane Marsaw. The McCaskies couldn't handle, what's his name, Ballard. He had to go to the Colts to build the Colts because they couldn't handle someone saying, fuck politics, fuck ticket sales. Ticket sales will come when we're winning Super Bowls. They'll be lining up down the fucking street. But instead, we got Nagy. BU. BU. What was the other catch line, Shane?
Gotta find the wise.
Find the wise. What's the other one? There was another great one.
Listen, I gotta say something.
Obsession.
He said something.
Obsessed.
No, he's obsessed. That's how
obsessed.
He says obsessed. You gotta be obsessed.
Be obsessed. Be obsessed. I feel like I want to fucking be jumping off a fucking building. There it is, Cherie. Collaboration. Collaboration. Collaborate.
He said,
give me a fucking break.
Yeah, I'll give you a break. Right now, I'm going to tell you something. That team you have is missing 2 players.
Okay.
Center,
Center,
and a
right
right
tackle.
tackle. Okay, you take those 2 guys out.
Wait,
right?
you got 2.
Then
What's the third?
the third one's a great receiver. That's the only thing you're missing. You got a great running back. The rest of your line will be great if you put 2 guys in there. Now,
agree.
the defense is unbelievable. Get number 4 out. You're better off without him. You get another kid in there, you have a good team. So he says that you can expect this from young players. Who's he talking about? 1 player. This kid, if you know that your personnel, you would say, let's work so hard on this kid so he's not the one who loses games for us.
What is he doing, Dad? Explain it to him. And if you've coached 33 years, that sentence right
37
there.
years. Correct yourself. 37 years. And I'm going to tell you something. He didn't know shit from Chinola. And I'll tell you why. Because if he just worked his butt off those plays and taught this kid reads and all that stuff and how to check off and do that stuff, be the leader that you are, because he doesn't know how to do it. That's the problem. Because good coaches, it would be an offensive coordinator or quarterback coach, be teaching them that. And that's the thing. If the head coach plays, is he kidding me or what? Get rid of that book and let somebody call the plays and start working on that quarterback to make him a great one, which he could be. And I don't know how it's going to make out this kind of thing. All I can say,
he can't
I'm
be.
I'm worried about him as failing, and then all of a sudden you're indecisive about making your decisions. And that's the problem with this, getting a beating and throwing interceptions and stuff like that. You're not giving him the training that he really needs. And you're wasting the whole spring doing it.
Now go back. I just want you to answer this question. He said that comment about young players. He was taking the blame off himself and putting it on Justin Fields. Am I right?
That's the only young player out there.
Exactly. So what he's done is do that to Mitch Trubisky before him, and now he's doing it again here. That right there, live on the air, is the reason he should be fired tonight, because Justin Fields is more valuable to this franchise and its future than Matt Nagy ever will, could, or should be. That
the
is
biggest problem. The biggest problem is he's lost the confidence of his team. They're not going to get any better. They really aren't. Not with that guy at the helm. I'm sorry, I just feel that, and it's too bad. I want to see this kid end up like Plunkett, destroyed, and nobody wanted him except Jim
Plunkett.
Jim Plunkett, the quarterback for the Raiders, won 2 Super Bowls after he left New England. You got
I
to
agree
coach
with you, 100%, Coach Atoshin. I agree with myself 100%, and I agree with Shane 100%. This guy is the biggest problem. I don't know why your audio keeps breaking up, Dad. That's why I keep cutting you off, because I think it's clicking on your shirt. The microphone.
I don't think. No, the microphone's on the.
Just stay right there. No, the microphone's on the wire. Yeah, that's perfect. I've never. He's a quarterback killer, just like you said about Mr. Andy Reid. He's a shoe salesman, right?
Right.
They come from the same tree.
That's right.
It's time. Now is the time. You do what you've never done before. You get rid of the coach. That's the problem. He's an uncomfortable. He's somebody you don't want to see on Monday when you go there as a player. There needs to be a change. Fire Nagy tonight. This guy is not the face of your franchise. He's destroyed Mitch. I've said it before. Listen, Mitch has his warts. We all can go through that, but I've documented it. Unfortunately, someone deleted all that at the old network where you could see Mitch Trubisky making plays despite this coach. It needs to happen. Matt Nagy couldn't figure out how to use fucking Jordan Howard, for God's sake. He had fucking the best back maybe in the NFL in David Montgomery. Next, you can argue him or Derrick Henry, and he couldn't understand how to use him. He had to put Cordero Patterson in the game and just over and over with these observations of stupidity.
He gets too personal. He's too personal with the players, and all of a sudden he feels like he owes them. You got to be aloof. You're the general. Everybody
exactly,
and everybody else is a sergeant and corporal and a private. You're the boss. You don't have to worry about that. You just tell them to do it and leave the room. You get personal with these guys. You could, you want to know about the problems. You could one-on-one. You don't let anybody know what's going on. But you have to be that way because you can't feel sorry for people. You make the decision.
Dad, you've been a head coach 37 years coaching.
Well, I've been a head coach for 32 years, but I coached for 37 years. 5 years as an assistant.
Okay. Head coach. We know the Hall of Famer, Walter Camp, Hall of Fame as well. I've never in my lifetime have looked and saw an NFL team quit since Mark Trestman. Shane, you were watching the same game as I was. Did you see a belief in the plan by this football team?
Oh no. I mean, I think you knew the answer to that question before you asked me. Not at all. It's Phil, we knew what direction this was headed on Wednesday night when we did our predictions. I was 42-12. You were what, 41-13?
41-13, yeah.
We've been around this team longer than Matt Nagy has. You know what I mean? We know how this team reacts. You always know if they have a big road win, they're going to follow it. The hype is going to come. Everybody's going to get excited, and the Bears are going to fall flat on their face. And we've seen that. We saw it last week versus Green Bay. We saw it today. To me, this was a statement game. I don't want the Bears to lose, but at the same time, a game like today needed to happen. I think this is one of those games where the owner looks at it and is like, okay, yeah, this
is right.
The wheels are in motion. You know, these wheels are spinning even more now. And I just Cars brought up a great point on Twitter talking about this. You had all the momentum in the world with the way that the draft worked out for you in getting Justin Fields. Then the Arlington Heights stuff, the new stadium, the hype, everything surrounding that. And now you're losing it all. You're losing all of it. If you bring back this coaching staff in 2022, I mean, you're teetering on an empty Soldier Field next year, for real, with or without Justin Fields. You can feel the angst of this fan base, and it's not just from the last 3 years previous. It's decades. It's decades. People are talking about Lovie Smith. We've seen the same thing with Lovie coach teams. Dick Duran had a 13-3 year, but you always knew in the back of your head that the Bears just were never good enough. There was always a team that was going to punch them in the fucking face and they were going to fall flat. It's a mentality. The Bears are flawed from the top to the fucking bottom, unfortunately. And I think, Phil, this isn't breaking news, but you have to pull the plug now. Be first at something.
Exactly.
Pull the plug and start the process of being ahead of every other team in the NFL in trying to line up who your next head coach is going to be.
Yes.
All right. I'm going to talk to this guy because you can say what you want. You can say how flawed this team is, how flawed this ownership is. This is going to be a desirable spot for one reason and one reason only, because of the talent that you have at quarterback. There's going to be plenty of guys that want to hitch their wagon to Justin Fields. But just like we've preached on this network and preached on where we came from, Phil, it's going to be the head coach, and the fucking first question to that head coach is going to be, who's going to be your offensive line coach? Those are the First two fucking questions.
Exactly.
1 and 2, right there. And then you move forward. Get a
I
jump
volunteer.
on it. Yeah, exactly.
Well, we would
I'm
win.
gonna get-
That would be the answer. Let me just say this, because if you pull back from the politics and the minutia of this game, and I have to say this only because it's the truth. We built this network on the fucking destroying narratives. We didn't come on here to throw out headlines to get likes. I went there and watched a zone scheme blocking backside on zone plays. We see mistakes in fundamentals in just their steps. We see a center dragging the ball on the ground like he's fucking playing bocce ball. I don't know. So these things are the things that we've talked about for our opinion. The opinion becomes fact after they play the game, and you all have a responsibility, and I'm talking to you fans, to stand up for TTNL, to stand up against the politics of the Bears, and recognize and use your voice to say it's not okay. That's your responsibility, because the work that Berlissimo, myself, Shane, everybody, even in our debates, at the end of the day, my father and I go on this fucking show and they show you on tape, right? Where nowhere is there a way you can lie. There's no way. There's nowhere to hide. It's right there. And these are the problems. They don't know assignments. They don't play with fundamentals. They don't finish. They don't care. Those are the reasons in the sauce. This guy leading your franchise, it should have happened last season. Let's just face it. It should have been done with before the draft. Ryan Pace wanted to save his ass, and he begged George, let's give us another shot. He deserves his shot with a rookie quarterback, and the same shit has happened. Like I said in my rant, a zebra doesn't change his stripes. He's a fucking fraud to begin with. Just how they block inside zone tells me if that's the foundation of this offense, RPO, run pass option with inside and outside zone stretch, and you are blocking it consistently wrong, and your center sucks, and you don't want to change that because I don't even know why you didn't draft Sam Mustipher, but he's awful, and you continue to trot out Leno before him. Mustipher's worse than Leno. That's how bad this is. Leno was horrific. Where does that leave your center? So my father said, okay, you can fix this. What?
I disagree with that. I think Mustipher's trying his ass off. He's just not skilled enough or strong enough to play the position. Leno
but that makes him worse.
Didn't care.
Leno's a worse person.
Yeah, please.
Right? Because he just didn't care enough to be better. But listen, it's a fucking race between a tortoise and a turtle. Which one is going to win. All right. But at the main point is here, your center's got to be able to fucking be better than that. I've documented how many times, Shane, it's like he's getting blown back into the backfield. It's like total chaos back there for a young signal caller who, I don't know who the person was. I think it was Adam in the chat who said it best. This guy is trying to shield his own job security behind a 22-year-old kid playing against the GOAT and getting destroyed out there because you're calling stupid plays and you have no answers. You have no teaching. Blitz pickup should be this simple. Everybody should be on the same page, and they're not. It's one thing to get beat. Like, you just physically got beat and you got sacked. It's another thing to be just completely just sitting ducks. We don't fucking swing or slide protection to the blitz, and we just fucking get a free runner. Boom! Balls on the ground. Boom! Balls on the ground. Latavius Simmons. Oh, we found out this morning that you heard him? I mean,
and that's the thing. And I think George shared the tweet with me that Justin Fields never found out about that change until he was at the stadium. Your starting quarterback.
Oh my God.
I mean, Ryan Pace should be alerted, then Matt Nagy, and then the first fucking person you're calling after that is your starting quarterback. Or your offensive line coach and then the quarterback.
Could you imagine, like, you're the offensive line coach and you don't put Bars out there before Simmons when you've been using Bars as that extra tight end?
Yeah, Michael, we've talked about it week in and week out. You put the guy that you drafted there as the top center that was available that year. They trade James Daniels.
Oh my God. Don't even get me started. They don't even know the right players to play. Jimmy Graham is getting more snaps than a 24-year-old tight end from Princeton who seems to be your best athlete at tight end. You that has a connection as a security blanket for your young quarterback. David Montgomery, over and over and over and over and over again, you see how talented he is. We don't establish a run with our best offensive player, yet we're constantly thrown Allen Robinson. What is Allen Robinson doing? What is he doing? He's deciding what my dad said. He's saying, I don't give a fuck. I'm out of here next year. And that's not helping. That's not helping Justin Fields, Shane. That's not fucking helping him. They can give a two shits about Justin. Go ahead.
Here's a little update from live from the game today.
Yeah, fire Nagy chants out at the stadium. On the road.
All right.
Yeah, that's what they're chanting out there. Our buddy Josh E. and Dustin Reagan Padilla, two of our patrons on our network, reporting as well. Was that just
yeah, that was from Dustin. Yep.
Dustin? Listen, hashtag it up. Get this guy, get this clown out of there. Again, I don't even think I can go. I said, turn to my son. How could I go to Chicago and support this team with this coach, with this organization that can care less about my son? They don't care about nobody but them ducats. That's it. All they care about is the money that they're going to make. At that point, I don't care. We're going to fucking destroy you with truth like we always do. We don't have an agenda. The only agenda, the mission statement is the tape never lies. That's where the pride comes in. That's where the passion comes in. Because when you pull back all the fucking Tony Romos and PFFs and all of that shit, at the end of the day, who's blocking? Who's tackling? Who's blocking? Who's tackling? I don't give a fuck about your cap. I don't give a fuck about who's the best. I want to see who fucking is blocking and tackling. My father's watching it. Get rid of number 4. You called out every guy. You need a right tackle. You need a center. Then you're okay, right?
I like that kid from Yale. What happened to that kid?
They're sitting there on the bench with politics.
Kid's a hell of a blocker.
Exactly. He's not even getting a fucking shot. He's not. Dieter Eisland should.
And you're getting the kid back from Missouri, right? This week?
Yeah. According to Berlissimo, it might be this week.
We don't know. He was standing on the sideline with Tevin Jenkins today at the game.
I'll tell you right now, that kid there's a player.
It does sound familiar, Cool Kennedy. We're working on a song. It sounds pretty familiar, that sound. I'm just letting you know.
You know something, Phil? Everything's going to work out for it. Everything's going to work out. They can't keep this guy there. They can't keep that guy there.
I pray to the football gods.
This is an embarrassment. I'm rooting for the Bears. I looked at that game and I said, I'm rooting against Brady. I want this team to win. And I looked out and I said, they haven't got a clue. They don't have a clue. And that's all I said. I had my pen and I started writing things down. And I just stopped. I said, they don't have a coach. This is ridiculous. Ridiculous.
But they
it's
got
a disgrace.
They got closer over the last 2 weeks, Coach.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
You know
I
what?
We
got closer.
You know what I like?
Shane is the best.
The real leader was a Bill Parcells and a Bill Belichick. I saw it today, not today, last week when they played the Dallas Cowboys. They don't even belong on the same field with Dallas. And they were right in the game. And it came down to a 3rd and 25, and he made it. Kid jumped up in the ball for Dallas. He must, like a basketball player, he caught the ball and made the first down, and that's when they won the game. Had they not made that, New England had the ball, and they would have won the game last week. Now, tell me, is that coaching? You bet your life that's coaching. He's got an inferior offensive line, a young quarterback just like you do, but he's so sound. 71% of his passes he's completed. 71.
He was my favorite quarterback in the draft, and I got a lot of shit about it, but that's irregardless.
I'm just saying that could be him. A good coach there.
If Justin Fields was with the Patriots, he's a better football player. Am I right?
100%.
Oh, without a doubt.
Exactly. Then everybody
coaching is everything. I mean, you got to have great players, but then you got to make them smart, and you got to teach them technique, and that's why you get.
This is the NFL. This is the fucking-FL. Everybody's got great talent, even the fucking Jags and the Jets. It's about preparation and teaching and coaching. You see, I don't care if you have 8 plays. If you watch fucking Army football. You want answers? There's not a fucking recruit there with a star next to their fucking name. But they go out there and they work on fundamentals and they preach it and they practice what they preach. Meanwhile, we got this minutia. We got close this 2 weeks. We got really close. Well, I got close, and Claudio and fucking Ace got close with the fucking Uber driver on the way to the airport. That doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't win football games. What does is saying, wow, Khalil Herbert's hot. He's feeling it today. Fuck our game plan. Get 2 tight ends in there. We're going to fucking pound these motherfuckers. We're going to go action game off of it. Tony Romo's fucking cracking up laughing. He could go in there next week and coach the Bears and they would be successful. The problem is the fucking head coach. Nobody else. I'm sorry. Everybody falls underneath that umbrella. You decide. Look in the mirror. Shane's right. I'm not taking it away from him, but I know this is a coaching number 1. You gotta, at some point, it's like fucking Jenga. You gotta pull the fucking right thing out. Don't destroy the whole fucking tower. Pull the right fucking block out of this. He's the number 1 thing you gotta pull. Then you're able to come up with a game plan that's gonna assess who is the appropriate players for this football team. How are you going to build off Justin Fields? I saw a coach today making the 22-year-old and his inexperience the problem. And that, to me, is like child abuse. That's neglectful. That's disgusting, in all honesty. And it's a fireable offense. Time to dump his ass right now. And Pace is done, too. He's gone.
Yeah, they have to be a package. They have to
new
be a
GM,
package
new
deal.
coach, new era. Get fucking Ted Phillips. Obviously, we want that, even if it doesn't happen. The one thing we need is somebody that's going to be a maniacal, fucking egotistical, crazy motherfucker that understands the game of football is one up front. Shane is 100% right. All of this is inexcusable. The first guy you hire has the best offensive line coach ever. Ever. And he has the power to say who plays. Fuck you, the GM. I don't care if it's the undrafted free agent from Northwest Missouri State. He's our best fucking guy. He's firing out. He understands it. He starts. I don't care that we picked a second-round guy at USC. He sucks. He's a pussy. You fucked up. Put him on the bench. Play the Northwest. That's football. That's Pete Carroll. That's Parcells. That's Belichick. That's every coach that ever gave a shit about putting winning first and not their reputation or how smart they're going to be in the red zone. Fuck all those guys. You gave a fucking blog boy a job and he sucks. You gave a guy you were told he's good. He's never, how did you know he was good? He never coached. He never fucking was a head coach. I can't tell you how crazy that is, but it happened. Even Mark Trestman was a head coach. He got bamboozled. You got fucking shoe shined by Andy Reid.
That's right. You're right.
It's a disgrace.
Yeah,
anyway,
Dan Weeder just tweeted out that 3 Bears players talked to the media today after the game: Fields, Roquan, and Herbert. Nobody else would talk.
There you go. No one cares. They don't care.
2 rookies and a guy looking for an extension.
No, we're very economical, my family.
Yeah, that's what the Bears are. They're very economical. Listen, every week we bring some of you on. If you reached out to Cherie, Shane, or Chris Jackal and his bag of books behind him, I don't even know where the fucking guy is. He's probably not doing shit again, Shane.
He had a family issue.
This guy, I feel every time we're on the air, some karma sends over to Jackal. Is he okay? I don't want to make a joke about it.
He is currently telling his wife that he feels much closer to her over the past couple of weeks. So it's probably going to work out real well for him.
It's 100 Crew Hot Takes. Phil and Shane bringing on a fan to talk Bears and what just happened in the Bears game each and every week. You have to have hype.
Phil's always telling me to hype.
You can't be flat. So be ready, be prepared, and bring your passion.
I had hype coming out of my ass.
It's 100 Crew Hot Takes. Hashtag Spencer Strong.
Those are big time fucking throws.
Yes, every week we get guys that want to jump on, but Matt Tampa Taylor's got his. He's got his. Did you pay 10 cents?
Put it back on, Matt. Put it back on. Put it back on.
There he is. That's the feeling that he got from this game. Matt, were you there at the game?
I was not, Phil. Hey, good to see you guys. Senior, good to see you. No, I actually worked today, but I was surrounded by Tampa fans, so that made it hard. With the opening, with the hat, total fucking embarrassment.
Mm-hmm.
Totally. Unacceptable. You know, that's how we all feel. And, you know, I've been a Bear fan 35 years, and we've been putting up with mediocrity since I've been 7 years old. And I'm tired of it. I'm tired.
Yeah, it's,
you know, we need a change like we've been saying for the last hour, and it's got to happen.
It's the most disappointing thing going because there's only one consistent.
Yes.
And it's inconsistency.
Exactly.
If there ever was a they've never won consistently. They've never had an offense under this guy that's consistent. The only thing consistent is inconsistent. They've averaged 11 points, Shane. 11
They're
points.
The first team since 2008 to throw for less than 200 yards in their first 7 games of the year.
And he's going to
since 2008.
He's going to blame this poor kid.
Absolutely.
That's the shit. Today was the shittiest showcase. If anybody's a Nagy fan, and you defend that motherfucker tonight, going out there like my dad pointed out in coach speak, there's only one young player. There's only one, and it's Justin Fields. Because you know he ain't talking about Pig Simmons.
Nope.
It is a disgrace, Matt.
Absolutely.
It is a disgrace.
And when he brought up in his press conference that they're teachers, what the hell are they teaching up there in Hales Hall? Because it's not winning or being accountable for your play. We've seen the same offense finish last year after year in passing, rushing, whatever. We got to do something different. We have to. It's getting old. So frustrating.
We can't hear you, Dad. So I don't know if you're on. You're probably gonna have to bounce out and come back in because we can't hear you. Let him do that. But Shane, when you hear him talk tonight about we got closer these past 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's called reaching. That's called reaching. You know.
But
when you walk down the
scoreboard
street,
got
when you walk down the street and your friend says, "This is my new baby," and you're like, "Oh, Jesus Christ!" Thinking to yourself, "That fucking baby's ugly." Like, "Oh my God, she's so beautiful." Everybody's gonna say that. You're gonna default to that, right? Because you're fucking reaching. You don't want to make him feel bad, but he's playing mind games with himself. Hey, we suck on the field. Man, did we get closer in the locker room? Because that's super important, right?
It's defensive. He knows he's at the brink.
He's sliding down that rope, right?
Yep.
He's that guy sliding down that fucking pole, but at the end of the pole, there's this giant fucking banana just sitting. He's just coming for it, and that's gonna happen to him because, listen. The Chicago Bears have
an alligator down there.
Yeah, he's Captain Hook with the alligator. But if the Chicago Bears organization continues to throw that out there, it's no different than him throwing Leno out there each and every week. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's a contagious, manipulative showcase of BS, and it is. I want Kyle Brandt. Kyle, I want you to come on Keeping It 100 and defend your boy. Defend your boy Nagy now. Where are you at? I called you out on Instagram. You're talking down to the fans who have put up with this bullshit. Where are you now on Matt Nagy, Kyle? You and Kay Adams. You're huge Bears fans, but wear Tampa Bay shirts and Patriot shirts, and you're completely fraudulent in this. Football matters. I'm surprised as a Princeton kid who played the game that you come at people like that. We don't do this for clicks. In fact, I've kicked out more fucking people for being ignorant bigots on our fucking Patreon. Shane and I have given them back their money. Get out. We want truth. That's it. I don't want any bullshit. The bullshit that I saw today was a coach using Justin Fields as the ammunition of why he's unsuccessful. Do you see a pattern here? He did the same thing to Mitch Trubisky.
Absolutely.
And it needs to be confronted. This is the same. Dave Kaplan, Shane. Matt Nagy. This is Ryan. Justin Fields is playing. Matt Nagy could be like, yo, I don't want to play Fields. He's not ready. But once that comes down into the minutia of what you got to do, then you can't just say, okay, we're going to run our offense. We're going to go empty. We're going to do everything in our power to run our – no. The change has to happen.
I got two questions.
Go ahead.
First, I see other teams, when their young quarterbacks are on the sidelines, coaches next to them going over the plays. I still don't see that with this staff. Right?
And I said the same thing to my wife today.
And also, okay, the second one's not a question.
Wait, say that again because I missed it. What did you say?
We see other teams' coaches talking to their young quarterbacks on their bench, going over plays on the iPad. Right?
Great
we don't
point.
see that with Fields. We see him sitting by himself.
He went this, Shane.
Yeah. He's like, what the hell?
Looking up in the air,
I think that there's some dramatics in that.
Or is he thinking like Nick Foles said, this shit ain't working?
Yeah. Well, I think there's probably part of that, but I also think that the broadcast, you remember how they always show Jay Cutler on there because I saw a Flip on the sideline talking to Justin Fields going over plays. They showed it on the
head
broadcast.
Coach no longer.
Oh, no. I understand. I'm just saying I think that gets played up a lot, but there's obvious issues there. I mean, Matt Nagy was so engrossed into this with his play sheet.
Oh yeah.
And then, that gets taken away, or quote unquote,
So-called taken away.
Bill Lazor's calling Matt Nagy's plays. However you want to script that, but I haven't seen Matt Nagy over there, like to Matt's point, sitting on the bench, specifically talking to Justin Fields one-on-one. But
that should be the thing.
This is the offensive guru.
This is your
guru.
You're the coach. You're not calling plays now, right? You should be there. You know every fucking play. You know every play in your playbook. I don't know a coach.
Well, there's no reason for it not to do that because the defense is out there now. He should be with his quarterback or his offensive coordinator and going over that tablet and seeing where he's doing wrong and show him where he's wrong. That's what they need to do. Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're 100% right. As a head coach at this moment in time, and you're down 21-0, and you're 3rd and goal from the 10-yard line, and you have Demir Bird in the game, I call time. Like, what play are we? Like, I can't even fathom that. It's like, isn't Allen Robinson your jump ball guy? Isn't that what he gets paid for? Like, I just can't even fathom this stuff and how they do it, but it happens every week.
Exactly. It's every week. We're like,
every
what
week.
the hell? Come on.
Demir Bird is coming, trying to block a 280-pound D end, and he's coming from outside leverage. This is your fucking offense? Oh, my God.
We're not using our players' strengths.
No.
You're right.
It's
There's a
the
lot
play.
of things wrong.
It's the play,
There's a
and
lot of
that's
things
it.
wrong.
I really believe the talented Mr. Flowers. I think Shane is saying it without saying it, and I don't want to speak for you, but I think there is a showcase of like Justin Fields sitting back like, this fucking guy doesn't understand me and what I could do for this team. I honestly believe that's what's going on here.
Matt Nagy got the get out of jail free card in April. He got it. And now he's lighting it on fire. So I'm just going to do it myself.
That's probably right. You're right. But you know
Yeah.
something I want to comment on? This kid is ready to play. He made some
Oh my God.
unbelievable throw.
I agree. And I know everybody keeps on saying that his confidence is going to be shot. I don't believe that at all. Not with it. He's different. He's a different breed.
Animal. He's a different animal.
Yeah, if it happens next season and the year after, then you're talking. He's wired different.
Yep.
Just like he said himself, I'm built for this. It's not going to be turning TVs off in Hallis Hall.
Yeah, but this is my point with it though. You see players quitting. All of you saw it out there today. We can go through the tape and pick them out. And there's a moment where
Don't do that.
Cole Kmet and Allen Robinson, after another incomplete, are just walking back like that. Again, it sucks, but you're a professional. You have a job to do. And as one of these guys said, you're going up against their 3rd string corner in the red zone. This is where coaching is so important. You identify motion to get the matchup you want with Allen Robinson or Darnell Mooney, and you get them the football. It's that's taking advantage of a defense. But instead, we're going to let Bowles, his boy Bowles, is attacking the fuck out of you, and you have no answer. Not a screen pass over it. Nothing. No answer. And that's a coaching issue. That's a personnel usage issue. That's a situational issue. All of these things I've been calling out for 4 years. Nobody else, no other networks. They were defending this motherfucker. You're crazy. What did he say, Shane, about my dad? That's old school football, like your dad. Remember? He took the shot. Well, my dad was 100% right, dick boy. Where are you now? Comparing fucking colors of your cum strand. That's what you're doing. Fucking morons. Let's do that shit. Sorry, ladies, that you had to hear that mini rant, but it's the truth. Like, football reigns supreme here. It's never changing. In 1920, what was it? 1941, me and my father at the Hall of Fame, we're seeing Sid Luckman run bubble fucking screen. In 1941, I'll show you it. This isn't rocket science. You block and you fucking tackle. That's the root of all of this. If people don't love you, they don't play hard for you. They don't give a fuck about Nagy. And that is how we started this show. So I don't care if it's point A, point B, point C. If the guy leading this team is a fucking fraud, then, and he can't hold anybody accountable, then you're dealing with the unbelievably bad. Like, that's what it is. Unbelievably bad. Why? Because you should be better. But you're so unbelievably bad. The answer is right in front of you with a guy that said we really got close these past 2 weeks. You didn't get close to fucking winning. I'll tell you that. You got. I don't care what you did at the freaking altar boy camp or whatever the fuck you guys went down and sang kumbaya together. That ain't gonna work. Get close in camp. Like, remember the Titans. Remember, they went off to camp. They got close, and they played together.
Get close in preseason games.
Exactly.
Wait, we can't do that.
But Matt, we appreciate coming in, man.
Appreciate you, Matt.
I appreciate you guys.
We love you. Tampa Matt came in with a bag over his head.
Number 222. Shock the world. Get rid of Nagy. Get rid of Pace. Get rid of Phillips. Do something different. This ain't working.
I love him.
Sure.
All right, guys.
Take care.
Keeping it 100. He's got his swag on, repping the fucking brand. I love you, Matt. God bless you. I hope we'll be seeing you all week breaking down this bullshit as we do here with the truth. Listen, I speak from my heart, just like Tampa Matt. Tampa Matt spoke from his heart. Our next guy better come with heart and fire. I see that he's got I don't know what he's smoking. But it ain't fucking getting close every week.
His internet connection ain't smoking. Him and that crappy
boy.
feed. Hopefully it's good.
It's 100 Crew Hot Takes. Phil and Shane bringing on a fan to talk Bears and what just happened in the Bears game each and every week. You have to have hype.
Phil's always telling me to hype.
You can't be flat. So be ready, be prepared, and bring your passion.
That hype coming out of my ass.
It's 100 Crew Hot Takes. Hashtag Spencer Strong.
Those are big time fucking
throws. What do we got here? Here he is. Country boy.
What's up, fellas?
There he is.
Ain't much changed since that Saints game, huh?
No.
Man, we here again, though. What the hell can I say? Excuse me, coach, for cussing in front of you once again, but good to see you, man. What was it? I mean, we got the speed, we got the quarterback, we got the running backs for sure. What's going on?
I found out we had two running backs. We had two good running backs.
We got two good
We got three, coach.
Yeah, three.
We got three.
Damian Williams might be the third.
Yeah, he should have won MVP if you ask me. Like, real talk.
Khalil Herbert is a bright spot.
You're not kidding.
In this whole
I had the same feel for him as David Montgomery when he came out.
Yeah, so you got to, if we're going to get a positive out of this game, Khalil Herbert runs with pride, passion, and a reckless abandon. He's just running through tacklers, and there's no questioning that guy's heart.
It takes more than one person to take him down. It don't matter who you put up against him.
But as 4,000 Clovers is saying right there, I saw it pop it up there again. Williams is good, decent.
I appreciate that.
Are special.
Appreciate that.
That's what I agree with right there. Listen, every time somebody goes down, you got to step up and show and deliver. Herbert has done that. The issue, though, is all the focus. It shouldn't come to me and Shane with you, country boy, praying. You saw it with Affetti. Shane is basically at night praying that Affetti gets hurt so we could bring Elijah Wilkinson in. Now we have Mustafa or Smorstafer.
Was the first fumble, right?
Yeah.
Affetti was in there.
I was at work debating with somebody before the season even started whether it was going to be Whitehair or Mustafa. And I honestly told him it was going to be Mustafa for the simple fact Whitehair is a better guard.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't want to believe me, and he still owed me money behind that bet. So we going to work that under the bridge.
Yeah. Well, Mustafa has been a destructive force for our own offense. And it's unfortunate, Shane, because they just can't get it right. And you shouldn't have to pray for injuries to help set up your team.
Oh,
there is no timeline behind Borum, but the situation could be see what you have in Dieter Eisland.
What do you have to lose?
Exactly.
Couple bad
you
snaps.
Give every player a chance, especially if the ones that's on the field that ain't producing. You got to give somebody a chance.
Well, just the sheer size and strength upgrade that you get from going to Iceland over Mustafa. You saw how many centers in this league get flog whipped like you saw Sam Mustafa today. I mean, I actually felt bad for the guy for a split second. It was like me, grabbing my son outside.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Putting him down
and just swinging him
on
around
the grass. Yeah, it's like, oh man, this is a grown ass man playing in the NFL. And Sue, I mean, I know Sue back in his day was legit. He's still a good player, but man, it was like he wasn't even there. It was just like a wet towel. It was like, sit down.
He just walked right through him. It's the same revolving door, different year.
Remember, did you see
Affetti was the same way.
Yeah, Affetti's
the first
out.
sack.
No, that was their Simmons. They put Lachavious
that was on
Simmons in there.
Simmons.
Simmons
He got ran right past. It wasn't a move. My bad, Phil.
Two strip sacks, 5 shots on the quarterback from Simmons. They had to pull him. They can hold him accountable, but they can't hold Sam Mustafa accountable. That right there showcases to me, it's like, do what's best for the team everywhere, not just with guys that it's just an unfortunate situation because I know from the bottom of my heart, Shane's 100% right, just on sheer strength alone. And don't give me this bullshit. Mr. Eisland went to fucking Yale. So don't think that he can't, understand the scheme and what he's going to be asked to do. It's unfortunate that I'm sorry. I've seen Juan Castillo and what he's done here. I don't agree with any of it. Today was a show. Juan decided with Matt that Simmons is going to start. That was the wrong move. And same thing.
That's what I'm saying. You could have put Alex Bars there and came out better on the right tackle.
Well, they had to do that. But what were you going to say, Shane?
I just don't know why you're pulling the guy from the practice squad over a guy that's been active in actual games that you're like you spoke to the patrons at halftime, Phil. You're putting Bars out there for his blocking ability as a tight end in some packages. But then when it comes time to you needing an offensive tackle out there, you can't put him out there. You're going to bring up Pig Simmons, who, let's be honest, has had some major issues this entire time. But it's just, I don't know. It's sad.
Even better question would be, why the hell is this Jesse James' first game actually getting some time? Because with Justin, he had a great preseason. Why do you not just bring him in now?
He had some
personal
issues off the field that he had to get. He may have told his wife that he felt closer to her, and maybe she set his ass straight and told him that's a bunch of fucking
He told his wife, I'm in a situation right now. I just need you to roll with this.
Yeah. Exactly.
Give us your one takeaway, country boy, because We're gonna wrap up by 9 o'clock tonight. Shane's got to bounce. I got to bounce.
You got Matt Nagy at your house crying in the background?
No, that's actually my dog this time. Last time it was my baby. This time my dog was watching the game with me, and it's the same shit. But my one takeaway would definitely be, it don't matter who you put in behind that line, they gonna suck regardless, because you don't have nobody doing nothing to adjust to what the defense is doing, what the defensive line is doing, and you definitely ain't got nobody teaching the quarterback how to be a quarterback out there, and that's a fact. I've seen it with Trubisky, I've seen it with Chase Daniels, I've seen it with Nick Foles, I've seen it with Andy Dalton, I've seen it with Justin Fields, and I'm tired of seeing it.
One thing I think that we have to look into is that Dustin Regan-Padilla sent me a picture of Borum and Jenkins on the sideline. On that one play to Darnell Mooney on the sideline when he ran out of bounds on that one completion, Larry Borum was actually the guy that bear hugged him to slow him down.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think
so. We couldn't pad up and block.
Well, my thing is these guys haven't practiced, but I usually, if there's any type of an issue like that, the guys that are on IR don't travel with the team. I'd be interested to know if they went to Vegas, or this may be a good sign. Because let's be honest, if Tevin Jenkins has any issue at all with a back, why are you trotting him out there on the sideline of an NFL football game when you know how shit can happen? So this may be something worth keeping your eye on moving forward. And Jim Nantz today on the feed said he brought up Tariq Cohen. Now, to me, it seems like to me that Cohen's going to be out for the year, but Jim Nantz threw a little nugget out there saying you could see him coming back soon. I don't know if he was just uninformed and just throwing that out there, or which I don't think Tariq's going to make a big difference, obviously. But
I don't see him making a big difference this year one way or another. But I ain't even going full disclosure, I was a little bit happy today because I thought for a split second I thought I saw Tevin Jenkins out there, but it ended up being Sam Musfer, and it just killed my whole day. So go along with this performance. So maybe next week we'll get it together.
Yeah,
maybe
that's just not how I could live my life. Maybe next week we'll figure it out. That's like Charlie Brown.
I'm tired of living like that.
Yeah, me too. And that's really how Bears fans should be. It should be hashtag fire Matt Nagy. It should be completely stay away from purchasing any paraphernalia from them, any memorabilia, anything. Go over, buy some swag from TTNL. You want to buy some?
And I will do that. I will do that for sure. I'll support y'all more before I support them. I got y'all.
I want to share something with you.
Go ahead.
I was in Nebraska.
Yep.
And we won 3 games that year.
Mm-hmm.
The 3 games that they won, I was a red shirt. These guys won them in spite of the coaches. They played their hearts out. We beat Oklahoma the first time since 1944. All those years. This is 1959. They beat Minnesota, was the Big Ten champions, and they beat Penn State. And they lost to the Big 8 conference, except for Oklahoma. Imagine that. They won 3 games. Unbelievable.
That's football for you.
That is football.
You're right. Players play. Now, I don't know who they're playing next week. Who are they playing next week?
They're going to be playing the San Francisco 49ers.
I promise you, they are going to play a great game. Whole team is. Because they want to win. They want to win. I'm telling you, Phil, don't feel down on these guys. These guys are
We'll see.
This will be that game that they win in spite of that son of a bitch.
We will see. We'll bring you on Wednesday night.
Guaranteed.
Yes. Pull that clip, Jackal, for Wednesday's show. My dad's bold prediction: the Bears are going to beat the 49ers Halloween weekend. It's Halloween Sunday.
Which is my daughter's birthday. Halloween is my daughter's birthday, so just send
What's your daughter's name?
What's
your daughter's name?
Madison. Avea Destiny Renee Madison.
There you go.
Thank you, Coach.
Tim, we love you here on the network. We love your support and your beautiful wife. We hope your mother-in-law
over the last 2 weeks.
Yeah,
everyone is
she
doing
just had her baby too, and the baby doing good.
Okay, good. So everybody's good in the
Enough with the
Madison.
babies, Tim. You need no more babies, bro.
Hey, you don't want to talk, Shane. You just had one too. But hey, I love y'all too, man. Keep up the good work, man. And I'm gonna keep watching y'all and supporting y'all, man, because y'all keep it 100 around here, man. And that's not an understatement.
All right, man.
you.
Thanks for coming out.
Tim.
Take care.
Tim Madison, my boy, country boy, 6'2", another guy bringing that passion and heart. Love some Cherie and Jackal. They're doing a good job in the background producing today. Listen, let's go around, rummage through our final thoughts. Let's keep this really truthful, Dad. We'll start with you because I know
I was so amazed that the start of the game, the kid takes the football and goes about 20 yards for a run. And I figured they're going to do this action pass, and all of a sudden it's bang, bang on the ground, fumble. It's just ridiculous. I didn't think those guys were well coached the whole year. They're not well coached, and it's really like you say, it's time for a change. And more people are saying that, the better it is, because it'll be a change. It's like when I hated to see Gruden get fired like that. It's his own problem, he started it. But the team won him in spite of him. You know what I mean? They come back and they play hard. I think you got a cancer there who's a liar. He's a liar. He's saying everything is good, and it's not good. And hopefully he can get the hell out of there, and things will straighten up, because you really got some great personnel there. That's a good football team, boy. I want to say it's a great football team. That kid starts playing right. That's the team that you have to have. You want to start off with. Why not give somebody that really knows the stuff a chance to make that Bears team a great team? Get this guy the hell out.
Listen, I remember being a kid and the 85 Bears were getting manhandled by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that year. They ended up coming back and winning, but this is the NFL. There's no way that the Chicago Bears should look like Vanderbilt versus Alabama. That shouldn't happen. Shane, your final thoughts tonight. I appreciate yours, Dad. I do.
It's just it's more of the same, Phil. We've seen this, and it predates Nagy, it predates everybody else that's been here. It's like I said, the shit drips down from the top, and we can sit here and railroad it and talk about the change of ownership, and that's what needs to happen, a whole different direction, but we can't change that. Unfortunately, if we speak, on the coach, I think we've done a really good job on that. And it has to be a package deal with Ryan Pace and Matt Nagy. And yeah, you have the wrong guys making the decisions and who they're going to bring in to replace them. But at this point, you're going to have to put your faith in the wrong guys up top to finally figure it out, because they're spinning their wheels in the mud right now and not going anywhere. And the bad part about it is they're driving a fucking Lambo in the mud in Justin Fields and trying to make progress forward. And listen, I'm still a huge believer in just imagine if they didn't pull off the draft day trade and Justin Fields wasn't your quarterback. If it was, the kid from A&M or something like that, think about where your morale with this team would be with that. Or if Nick Foles was your starting quarterback, or Andy Dalton was your main answer at quarterback. So it can be worse, unfortunately, but I'm going to be interested to see how this plane ride back to Chicago unfolds tonight. Do I think they're going to fire Matt Nagy tonight? Nope, sure don't. I think everybody's going to be sitting around waiting for that presser to start tomorrow and the Bears in true Bears fashion will be 15 minutes late, and everybody will think it's because they fired the head coach. Bears don't make decisions like that during the day. If they're going to shock anybody, you're going to hear about it in the middle of the night. That's the Chicago Bears way. But I believe what your dad said, Phil. The Chicago Bear way is for them to come out and put one on San Francisco next week. That's what they do. Then everybody's going to be lifted up. Expectations are going to be raised with the meatheads that believe that one game is going to make all the difference in the world. And then when they have another big game, they're going to fall flat on their face. That's been the Chicago Bears way. But I do expect them to come out and look like a totally different football team next week.
I hope so.
I
hope so, but I hope the guy gets fired. I mean, really, that's the best thing to do, because you can't win with a guy who lies. He stands up in front of the camera and says, "Well, we have to find out about the wives. We have to find out about the wives." Yeah, I'll find out about the wives. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
You're a bullshitter. You're a con man. That's what he is.
Yeah.
He's a con man.
And that's the perfect place to wrap it up, Coach.
Let me finish with my final thoughts here, just off of what you said. At the end of the day, I've been around this game and I played the game my whole life. So where there's a will, there's always a way. And at some point, you have to stop doing what you think is right and do what actually is right. My dad is right. That's what an organization sending a message to their fandom does. They cut the head off the snake. I know that we've beaten teams that we had no business beating in the past with less talent. This Chicago Bears defense, with the talent they have, as well as the personnel that they already have on this roster with Justin Fields, is able to go to the playoffs and win. There is no plan. And when we break back and peel all the layers back, and that's what we do at this network to show you why, we actually give you the whys. The whys, why did the Bears lose? When Tim was saying, and my father saying they hit it for 29 yards to start the game, is because they don't believe or know their identity. It's never, ever been more clearer for me that you'll never win with a guy that thinks big plays are nice. You'll only win with a guy that believes winning is the end result to everything.
Yep.
Matt Nagy isn't a winner. You'll never win with a guy that's not a winner. I've never been a lucky guy. I've made my own luck. So we've witnessed the Mark Trestmans of the world and the John Foxes and so on and so forth down the line, where you stand, wherever. But I know we won a Super Bowl one time. And with Mike Ditka, he was one thing. Just like Jim Harbaugh is, that I see. He's maniacal. Winning at all costs. No matter who the players are, he doesn't care. He wants the best to
That's
be
the
on the
guy I
field.
want.
That's what you need in Chicago. You need that. What you have right here is an easily controlled guy that's never been a head coach that is showing that now. And you defenders of him, shame on yourself, because today, about all other days for me, I saw the 21-0 score and I saw a coward. I saw a guy that kicked the field goal to take the 0 off and not try to win and send that message to the team. So with what Justin's doing on the sideline to Matt Nagy, end of the game, that sets the cherry on top. As I told to Jim Larison, this guy is a fraud shoe salesman because he puts himself in front of everybody. In football, we do it together. We put our hands in, we win as a team, we lose as a team. Today, Matt Nagy couldn't even stand in front of everybody here or anybody and say, it's on me. With that, for Shane Marsaw.
Phil, real quick, let me
ahead.
end it on one more positive here moving forward. And this comes from our QB1, Justin Fields, and then you can end it right after I'm done speaking here. This is from Justin Fields. When you get beat or blown out, you have two choices. You can either say, fuck it, I'm going to stop working, or you can go the other route. and you can say, I'm going to keep working. I'm never going to stop, and I'm always going to keep going. That's a fucking leader, and that is your quarterback, Chicago Bears fans, and that's why you should keep the hope.
There you go.
Bravo.
That's what I'm talking about. And that's the
Bravo.
difference between your quarterback who's getting finger fucked by his head coach and the head coach who's doing the fucking. And for Shane Marsaw, for my dad, Coach Atoshin Sr., I'm your guy, Draft Dr. Phil. This week on Keeping It 100, we're going to be breaking down all of this, some surprises and everything. Tomorrow night, we'll have Chris Zords, the Super 16 poll show, breaking down the college football top 16. Tuesday, fantasy football, the One Up podcast with Steven Johnson's and Chris Jackal. And then we'll be back on X's with the O's, the Draft Dr. Phil's Tape Never Lies with my guy Berlissimo and I breaking down the tape. And then on Saturday, X's with the O's. We'll be all here on TTNL to get you ready for next week's game against the 49ers. We'll see you next week. I hope you loved Bears Hour Live. I'll always say I root for the Bears. I root for the jersey. Today, I'm down. I'm disappointed, and I'm going to go watch some comedy tonight to keep this.
It's a good idea.
To get some
It's a good idea.
Some fun. I suggest all you fans do and tune in. Maybe there'll be a pop-up show this week. God bless you. Good night. I hope you enjoy
See you
Bears
guys.
Hour Live. 32 is the.
Thank you for watching Bears Hour Live, the best post-Bears game show on the planet, on the Tape Never Lies Network.